A very good evening, dear viewers. Welcome to English News Bulletin here on Rwanda Television. We are glad to have you today. Let's begin with the top stories of the day. President Paul Kagame has urged newly sworn-in government officials to exercise caution and avoid actions that could jeopardize the nation or put its citizens at risk. First Lady Jeannette Kagame has been given the inaugural Distinguished Recognition Award in Women's Health by the International Federation of Gynecologists and Obstetricians. And on the international scene, heavy rains in India and Nepal have caused severe flooding, killing at least 70 people. My name is Olivia, and it's always a pleasure to have you on board, and I believe you started the week well and you will have a fruitful one. Now, kicking off today's edition, President Paul Kagame has urged newly sworn-in government officials to exercise caution and avoid actions that could jeopardize the nation or put its citizens at risk. He emphasized that their primary responsibility is to serve the progress and well-being of all Rwandans, ensuring the country stays on track to achieve its development goals. And our Gladys kicks us off tonight.
Those who were sworn in include the Minister of Defense, Juvenal Mariza Monda, the Minister of Gender and Family Promotion, Konsole Uwimana, and the Minister of State in the Ministry of ICT and Innovation, Yves Iradukunda. While receiving their oaths on Monday, President Kagame urged them to take their responsibilities seriously and to dedicate themselves to promoting the interests and development of all Rwandans.
The way of our responsibilities lies in the fact that we serve Rwandans and our country. We are part of it, yes, but we do not work for ourselves. We work to achieve more for others. When things go well for others, when the country progresses, you also benefit. However, people are not given responsibilities to focus on themselves. And if they do look at themselves, it should be in a different way. The first and most important thing to consider is the interest and the well-being of Rwandans. That's the fundamental principle.
The head of state also emphasized that taking the oath should be followed by concrete actions aimed at accelerating the country's development.
Taking an oath is not just a ceremony that happens and ends there. It must be followed by actions that align with it. That's what I keep emphasizing, and I have explained it before. The way we want our country to be. We know where we have come from, we know where we are now, and we know where we want to go. In that journey, every institution and every individual has lessons to learn. Some lessons come from experience, but they should not have to be repeated many times. Because when that happens, it means responsibilities have been lost. I'm saying this so that it is well understood, and it is based on what we observe over the years. I'm saying it now also for those who have taken oaths before and are following this, so they can be reminded this message is not only for those who were sworn in today.
President Kagame further noted that mistakes can occur in the course of duty, but if they are not corrected, they can lead the country and its citizens into serious problems.
Normally in work and in life, people make mistakes as human beings, and that can happen once and pass. But when the same mistakes are repeated many times, it becomes another kind of problem that needs to be addressed in one way or another. People are not meant to make mistakes just for the sake of it. When mistakes happen, they must be acknowledged and turned into lessons that move us forward. But when the same mistakes keep happening repeatedly, then it becomes something else. It means that those in charge are thinking only of themselves rather than focusing on Rwandans or the country.
The Minister of Defense and the Minister of Gender and Family Promotion did not take the oath along with the rest of the cabinet on July 25th as they were on official duty abroad. Meanwhile, Yves Iradukunda, who took the oath today, was appointed Minister of State in the Ministry of ICT and Innovation on September 18th this year, after serving for more than 4 years as the Permanent Secretary in the same ministry. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Moving ahead, the First Lady Jeannette Kagame has been given the inaugural Distinguished Recognition Award in Women's Health by the International Federation of Gynecologists and Obstetricians, FIGO. This award, FIGO is a global leader in women's health with 142 member societies, established its peer-reviewed Women's Awards in 1997. Recipients are selected by a panel of experts for their distinguished contributions to maternal and adolescent health worldwide. The First Lady expressed her appreciation for the award, and through her X account, she announced that she was honored to receive this award, adding that through the Imbuto Foundation and its partners, there has been significant progress in empowering women and girls, which in turn improves the well-being of families. She concluded by thanking FIGO and others who work tirelessly to ensure that women enjoy healthy lives and dignity. She said, "I dedicate this award to the women and girls and youth from whom we have learned so much on our journey." The First Lady, who founded Imbuto Foundation in 2001, has championed academic excellence, celebrating nearly 8,000 girls. She has also worked to promote gender parity in school enrollment and introduced innovations in adolescent sexual and reproductive health. In addition, she has supported youth-led solutions to teenage pregnancy and social vulnerabilities, and has led HPV vaccination campaigns for young girls. Now, moving ahead, the Prime Minister, Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva, highlighted that the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, annual meeting, which began in Kigali on Monday, should serve as a platform for exchanging knowledge and collaboration, which offers practical solutions to global challenges. Adam Squizera takes us through.
While opening the meeting, participants highlighted the existing gaps in enabling products with quality standards to reach international markets. However, there is optimism and ongoing initiatives, especially across the African continent, aimed at improving the quality of exports. The Minister of Trade and Industry, Prudence Sebahizi, pointed out that the growth of Africa's industrial sector is among the key drivers of this transformation.
We understand that standards are more than technical instruments. They are the foundation of trust. They promote innovation, facilitate trade, and create a culture of quality and empowers both producers and consumers. They serve as a bridge between local ambition and global opportunity, enabling countries like ours to integrate seamlessly into international marketplace. Right Honorable Prime Minister, hosting this global gathering is both an honor and a milestone for Rwanda. It reflects our growing role in the international standardization community and our dedication to building a future anchored in equality, sustainability, and inclusion. This meeting has come at the right time, where our interconnectedness is undeniable, yet our challenges remain vast and complex. These challenges remind us that no single nation or institution can go it alone.
Dr. Sung Wan Cho, President of the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, emphasized the need for global cooperation to enhance quality standards as a pathway to achieving sustainable development.
Meaningful change comes when we work together across borders. It calls on us to harness our collective strength in a world that urgently needs bold, lasting solutions. International standards are a powerful unifying force. They bring together diverse voices from across sectors and backgrounds, foster consensus, and ensure that all voices are heard, especially those from developing countries. That's why ISO works closely with our partners, IC and ITU, through the World Standards Cooperation, engaging with the global community to advocate for standards on the international stage. At events such as the AI for Good Global Summit, next month's COP30, and the upcoming 2025 International AI Standards Summit in Seoul, Korea, we aim to keep international standards at the heart of the most pressing conversations of our time. But none of this is possible without your support.
Prime Minister Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva stated that this meeting provides a platform for exchanging expertise that facilitates trade, fosters innovation, and builds resilient economies capable of adapting the global challenges.
This gathering is more than just a meeting. It is a platform for countries, ISO members, and partners to exchange knowledge, strengthen collaboration, and reaffirm the importance of market-relevant standards. Standards that facilitate trade, drive innovation, enhance climate resilience, and offer practical solutions to global challenges. Standardization must remain a cornerstone of equitable and sustainable development. This means aligning standards across markets, building ecosystems that support business access, and deepening cooperation to share knowledge and best practices.
The 5-day ISO annual meeting will discuss various topics, including effective approaches to standardization and policy implementation, with a special focus on the African continent. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Moving ahead, the commercialization and the risking for agriculture transformation project SIDAT has been transforming the lives of farmers and livestock keepers by helping them implement their initiatives and access much needed support. Prime Minister Dr. Nsengiyumva Justin has assured that the project's operations will continue to be improved to further enhance the livelihoods of participants. Among the participants include Philomene Mukamusoni, who lives in Ruhango district. She received 70 million Rwandan francs through this project SIDAT, covering 50% of her investment in greenhouses for potato seedling production. She invested an additional 133 million Rwandan francs in infrastructure, including water, electricity, and seedling equipment. Anne-Marie Nyirakaziga, she's also a participant in this project, and she lives in Musha sector, Rwamagana, engaged in potato farming, received 52 million Rwandan francs, and contributed an equal amount herself. This support enabled her to acquire greenhouses, irrigation systems, water points, and fertilizers. Both farmers report that their activities are already producing significant results. Beyond these individual grants, SIDAT has provided loans exceeding 16 billion Rwandan francs through the Development Bank of Rwanda. The Prime Minister, Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva, has assured that the project's operations will continue to be improved.
This project has received an investment of approximately $300 million and has been assisting farmers in obtaining loans with a low interest rate of 8%. The program will continue to be effectively implemented. To date, 1,142 farmers have been assisted in securing loans through this project.
Tomorrow News, Rwanda, through the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, has signed a grant agreement with Germany worth 18 million euros, equivalent to 30.5 billion Rwandan francs, to support programs aimed at improving the well-being of citizens. We have details. The agreement was signed by the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Yusuf Murangwa, and the German ambassador to Rwanda, Eik Utadetman. Through its development bank, Germany provided this grant of 30.5 billion Rwandan francs to Rwanda. Minister Yusuf Murangwa stated that the funds will be used to support government initiatives aimed at lifting citizens out of poverty. First of all, the funds will assist households affected by malnutrition. Second, it will support vulnerable households of elderly people who cannot work, as well as people with disabilities. These groups will receive what we can call direct support, cash transfers to help them meet their basic needs so they can continue to live well. Third, the funds will help vulnerable families to access employment opportunities through what we call public works, such as participating in infrastructure projects needed in various sectors, cells and districts. Lastly, it will support vulnerable families who at some point face various challenges, such as natural disasters or other unexpected hardships. Maurice Nsabibaruta, Division Manager for Community Development and Coordination at the Local Administrative Entities Development Agency, explained that the funds will help increase the number of beneficiaries receiving support to lift themselves out of poverty.
Icyo bigiye kudufasha rero nuko nka program twari dufite existing poverty in Rwanda kurandura ubukene mu gihugu.
The funds will support the continuation of our existing programs aimed at alleviating poverty in Rwanda, ensuring they are sustained for a few more years. Additionally, we may receive further support along the way. Our goal is to reach as many people as possible and assist residents in their development through what we refer to as human capital. The German ambassador to Rwanda, Eik Utadetman, highlighted that the agreement underscores the strong and long-standing partnership between the two countries and reflects a shared commitment to good governance that places the well-being of citizens at the center.
Rwanda has shown that by investing in its population, meaningful reduction of poverty rates can be achieved. You all know, in this room, you all know the impressive numbers that we have seen, especially between 2017 to 2024. These were the last numbers published. And I mean, just Rwanda has the political will to reduce poverty, and this is why poverty is reduced. I mean, sometimes I think it's as simple as that. You have a political will, and you take the measures, and you have good partners like Germany, and then you can achieve things. And this is a process that is really led by Rwanda, and I'm always so very much impressed. And I'm glad to state that for many years, Rwanda is accompanying Rwanda's efforts to eradicate poverty and strengthen resilience.
In 2022, the government of Rwanda launched the Vision Umurenge program to accelerate the eradication of extreme poverty among low-income households. This new grant from Germany will ensure continued support for the program's activities. Still on local matters, the Ministry of Emergency Management has announced plans to explore partnerships with insurance companies and other stakeholders to establish a dedicated fund for disaster response. This fund will ensure that financial resources are readily available in case of emergencies. Take a look at the details. In a meeting focused on establishing a disaster response fund, the ministry emphasized the urgent need for such a mechanism, even in light of the World Bank's recent approval of financial support that Rwanda could access during major disasters. Aristak Ngoga, the permanent secretary in the ministry in charge of emergency management, described the initiative as a significant milestone, noting that Rwanda experienced severe disasters in 2023 and is still actively engaged in recovery and reconstruction efforts. He further explained that the ministry is working closely with multiple institutions, including insurance companies, to operationalize a fund that will provide timely assistance to populations affected by disasters. One of the key recommendations highlighted was to establish the fund, ensure it is well-resourced, and collaborate with insurance companies. Another important aspect we have been exploring in disaster risk financing is accessing global support. All we need is to identify every possible source to secure the necessary funds. Godfrey Kabera, the Minister of State for National Treasury, expressed sincere appreciation to the World Bank for its ongoing support, highlighting its role in funding projects that aim to safeguard citizens' lives and protect critical infrastructure during emergencies.
Allow me to extend special appreciation to the World Bank and the World Food Programme, whose technical support has been instrumental in producing this diagnostic report and strategy. From the initial diagnostic review to the development of the strategy, their contribution along with other partners and stakeholders in this journey has been very important and critical, and ensure that we produced two important pieces of well done analytical work. As we all know, disasters continue to pose significant challenges to governments, including Rwanda, given the vivid costs that are related to these disasters.
During discussions on mobilizing resources for disaster response, a World Bank representative highlighted that climate change is likely to increase both the intensity and frequency of rainfall. This could lower Rwanda's GDP by an estimated 5 to 7% below normal levels over the coming decades up to 2050. These projections emphasize the urgent need to strengthen the country's capacity to manage and to respond to climate-related disasters. For news, the Inspector General of Police of Rwanda, CG Felix Namuhoranye, along with his delegation, was received by the Chief of Police of Indonesia, General Listio Sigit Prabowo, and both sides signed a cooperation agreement. This marks an important step in the police relations and collaboration between Rwanda and Indonesia. The signing of the agreement took place at the headquarters of the Indonesian police in Jakarta and was attended by Rwanda's representative to the country, Sheikh Abdul Karim Harerimana. The agreement strengthens cooperation between the two parties in combating transnational crimes, sharing information and expertise, and conducting joint training as part of programs aimed at building the capacity of personnel in these sectors. Moving ahead, on Friday, the ambassador of Rwanda to China, Ambassador James Kimonyo, met with Rwandans living in China, including business people, to discuss pressing issues concerning the Rwandan community. A key topic during the meeting was the issue of human trafficking. According to reports, some Rwandan entrepreneurs who run private institutions have been offering young people visas to study. However, instead of fulfilling these promises, some of these young people end up being trafficked or exploited. Moise Nyoshuti, a Rwandan residing in China, confirmed that such cases occur frequently and urged fellow business people to exercise caution when assisting young people with opportunities abroad.
The human trafficking has been a great issue as we are facing it. A lot of Rwandans are being tracked and imported to not good or not genuine jobs. They are being right that they are going to be in a well-paying and a highly paying companies, but actually they are not. So what we can advise people, what we can advise the youth is like to know who you are working with, where are you going, is they safe? So you have to reach on us as your brothers and sisters who are living in China or the Rwandan embassy in China, in order to build our bright future in correct and proper ways. Private agencies are everywhere, but some agencies are registered, are genuine, are legal, but there are other private agencies are not allowed, they are not known, they are not registered, and they are using the means to cheat, to scam our youth's money.
Ambassador Kimonyo James also emphasized the importance of vigilance for anyone seeking visas, advising them to consult the Rwandan embassy for guidance to avoid falling victim to scams or human trafficking networks.
And we have so many Rwandans who have been affected. In fact, we are told in one of the countries we have more than 1,000 of them who are stuck there. So we have been able to facilitate a few together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Immigration, and other agencies. The International Organization for Migration has been supporting us to facilitate a few who have been able to escape in those camps. And so today, what we are doing is to communicate with the students who are already in China, or Rwandans who are here, to make sure that they avoid to fall into that trap, but also trying to create some high level of awareness, even back home, that they should not really fall into that trap of being offered job opportunities, scholarships, and so on. And if they really did want to come to study in China or any other country, our embassies are here to assist. Just talk to us, tell us. If you think the agency that is supposedly trying to get school or job opportunity, simply contact the embassy. We shall be able to provide basic information for you to make an informed decision.
Every journey has a beginning. From nature comes refreshing fruity goodness that keeps you going every day. With every pack complementing life's best moments. Not one, not two, but 5 different fruity flavors. And this journey keeps giving. Introducing Inyanji's new fruity juice flavors, guava and cocktail. Now available at your nearest shop. Always ask for Inyanji.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo agira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njye muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byarangiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abahomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye zibimamo. Bigereho.
You're still watching RTV News now to matters making headlines globally. Heavy rains in India and Nepal have caused severe flooding, killing at least 70 people. Al Jazeera has the details.
This is what heavy rains brought to parts of central and eastern Nepal. Extensive flooding, landslides, and widespread destruction. The floods damaged and blocked major highways connecting the capital Kathmandu with the rest of the country. It happened as thousands of Nepalis traveled to celebrate Dasai, an important festival. The rains swamped farmland, destroyed crops, telecommunication units, bridges and hydropower facilities. It also triggered several landslides in the hill district of Ilam in eastern Nepal, killing nearly 40 people while they were sleeping.
I have never experienced such a calamity in all my years. Nothing is left. The flood took everything.
Many roads and houses are destroyed. 6 people who were here to celebrate Dasai festival with their families died in the landslides.
Rescue and recovery teams are searching for those missing in the landslides and floods. In Kathmandu, the government's disaster preparedness measures and early warning systems managed to reduce the loss of lives.
The floods and landslides have damaged infrastructure, which can be rebuilt, but our main objective was to reduce human casualties.
As the monsoons gradually lose strength and the waters subside, in Ilam and elsewhere, the government and local communities are now focused on relief, restoration and rehabilitation efforts. Ramya Talimbu, Al Jazeera, Kathmandu.
This story brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin, but before we leave, a reminder of the top stories that made this edition. President Paul Kagame has urged newly sworn-in government officials to exercise caution and avoid actions that could jeopardize the nation or put its citizens at risk. The First Lady Jeanette Kagame has been given the inaugural Distinguished Recognition Award in Women's Health by the International Federation of Gynecologists and Obstetricians, FIGO. And on the international scene, heavy rains in India and Nepal have caused severe flooding, killing at least 70 people. marks the end of today's bulletin. Thank you so much for being with us. On behalf of the entire news team, we wish you a fruitful week ahead. Goodbye.